Hi, my name is Thomas Baptiste, and I will be presenting to you today on the country of Denmark. So, Denmark, or the Kingdom of Denmark, is a Scandinavian or Nordic country in Northern Europe. They are home to some of the largest industries in the world when it comes to renewable energy and pharmaceuticals. In terms of renewable energy, they are one of the global leaders in renewable energy, specifically wind energy. They are home to some of the world's largest wind farms and have taken a stance as a country to reduce their carbon emissions by 50% by year 2050, which is mid-century. They are very committed to this industry and have been some of the most innovative and thoughtful people worldwide when it comes to being conscious of sustainable development. In terms of pharmaceuticals, they are also one of the global leaders in research and development of medicine. They are one of the leaders in distribution of medicine and are quite proud of this. They are also very much inclined to make these two industries the main driver of their GDP and their source of employment. When we look at their corruption index, we could see that this is all possible because Denmark has one of the most stable governments in the world. They have a corruption index of 90 out of 100, which ranks them at number one out of 180 countries worldwide. So, based on that statistic from transparency.org, which is a government agency that ranks countries for corruption, they are the least corrupt country as of 2022 and are also known to be one of the happiest countries, not just in Europe, but worldwide, making them a very happy people and a very safe place to live and work. Now, when we think about Denmark and Hafstad's dimensions, we can see that Denmark is a low context language driven society. They have a means of direct communication with each other, meaning that they value a lot of honesty and transparency in their communication. They are very precise in what they say. They don't like to have a lot of context between what is said and what is not said. They prefer for things to be very straightforward, and because of this, they're not relying on nonverbal cues. So body language is less of an issue in this country than it would be in a high context language society. They are not reliant on the context. They prefer to have things said as it is said, it is meant. So they are not reliant on context. In terms of opinions, they prefer that you don't hold anything, you don't withhold your opinion. If you have something to say, that you say it. You have something that you feel, that you say it. They are very vocal about their opinions and very straightforward about their opinions. They have a willingness to take responsibility when it comes to what they say and how they communicate in terms of what they mean. They are very strong minded people in terms of what they say is what they mean, and what they mean is what they say. Now, so if we look at an example of low context language in Denmark, just imagine that you are working in Denmark and you form part of a team that is currently undertaking a project, and a colleague or a boss says to you, this project is a mess. We need to get it back on track. In a high context culture like Japan, that would be seen as quite rude, shocking, and offensive. But this is not the case in Denmark. This would be seen as direct, open communication and would be seen as quite reasonable and would be met with the utmost understanding and transparency. So that just goes to show that their culture includes people that take their work quite seriously and try to focus on the task at hand without leaving it to any sort of context or nonverbal cues. Right. And another example would be a job interview. So let's see that you're looking for a job, and you happen to go into an interview, and as the interviewee, you get asked a question that you don't know the answer to. And you respond with, I don't know the answer to that question, but I'm sure I could find out. In a high context culture, let's say Japan again, this statement would reflect a lack of preparedness, competency, and ability to do the job. But in a low context culture like Denmark, it would be seen as funny, witty, or even an honest response that would be interpreted to be something completely different than a high context culture like Japan. So it would also indicate a dry sense of humor to have such a witty response, which is something that is quite prevalent in Denmark because they are known to have a dry sense of humor. They often use it to make deflections to questions they don't know the answers to, or to show confidence and resourcefulness, and intellectualism by having a creative and direct response. Look at another Hofstede's dimension, we have low uncertainty avoidance. Denmark is a low uncertainty avoidance country, and because of this, they have a history of progress and they're very open to change and innovation. They love critical thinking and thinking outside of the box and are very tolerant to risk taking. They have an open mindedness that is nurtured from a very young age and an adaptability and flexibility to solve problems when it comes to any sort of outside the box solutions that you may present. An example of this is their renewable energy industry. So they have been global leaders for a long time in decarbonizing their economy and aim to be a low carbon economy by 2050, as I said. And if we think about some of their leading companies, for example, Vestas Incorporated is one of the leading global wind energy solutions in the world. They are an ethical company that are socially responsible. And despite whatever challenges that they might have faced in their beginning stages, because of the society of low uncertainty avoidance in Denmark, they were embracing this change and this challenge instead of running away from innovation and have become one of the most popular pioneers in sustainable development. So, this has been my presentation. Thank you so much.